second time on the Hiawassee, the second time in a hard boat, a hard shell. So I've brought all my whitewater gear, helmet, skirt, and I really loved going down this river last time. So I'll try to shoot as much as I can. But I thought I'd share for a little bit about the trip down here. So on the drive down here, I was brainstorming about how I could get creative with this content. I don't feel comfortable. This doesn't feel natural talking to a camera for me, and I just need to get used to doing it and start doing it. And so I was trying to think of a creative way to play with it. And I thought, well, you know, one of the topics I want to share about is my father, my dad. Let's say my dad. And I thought, well, he's no longer with us, and I could talk to him. I could just talk to the camera like I'm talking to my dad. So I started just doing that in my mind a little bit to see how it would feel, and oh my goodness, I could not hold back my tears. And I'm playing this stupid playlist that I worked on a couple years ago, and it's got 8 Circle by Bon Iver, and so just the sounds of that song, it's such a pretty song, and I'm in the emotions so deep that and my brother, my younger brother, he's the one who turned me on to this artist, and so I was thinking about him earlier, and you know, I want to talk to him. Never get a chance to talk to him. Don't get a chance to talk to a lot of family or friends like you really want to, because, you know, we're all busy chasing our dreams and trying to pay the bills and find the balance between those. But anyway, so I had a reason to send my brother a text message, and I was like, oh yeah, Bon Iver. And the only thing I could send him was, you know, how many times have you cried listening to Bon Iver? Okay, so I'm going out here to these mountains in the southeast, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. Blue Ridge, Ocoee, Hiawassee, Chattooga, and I'm in love with the Chattooga. And as I'm going through all this ocean of emotion, headed to the river, I just had this thought that, like, why does this feel so strong? Like, why, you know, music aside, my heart, it hurts, like, but in a good way. It's stuff that I think I'm never gonna get over in my life. I'm always gonna feel this strongly. And I think that part of what I've had to do in the 40 years I've been on this planet, the 32, 33 years I've been without my daddy, figure out how to experience these emotions when they come without letting them dictate my actions and how I respond to things around me. You know, it scares the shit out of me trying to drive and going through this, but I'm okay. I would pull over if it got any more intense. But it's really intense. And that's one of the reasons I avoid pulling this camera out to start talking about stuff, because it's easy to filter enough of it here and just keep busy with whatever I'm doing. But when I actually have to take the thoughts and work past and like actually try to articulate them for a video, it's like a volcano going off. It's like tectonic plates are shifting, you know, which, you know, talking out loud and speaking your pain is part of the healing process. And if you haven't figured out how to do that, and if you don't have people who you can safely be vulnerable around and express that pain, you'll never break through emotionally and probably continue to fall back into a pattern of relapse, because that is what I had to live with for years. For, I don't want to say decades, because there were chapters, there were periods of my life, there were seasons that lasted for multiple years, but I think the longest season would be probably 5 or 6 years where I was circling the drain, and it's scary. Okay. Thank goodness that that's not the case today, and being able to get out here and go and experience a river, a wild river. I know Hiawatha's not a wild river, I know the Ocoee's not a wild river, but the Chattooga's a wild river. And if you don't know anything about the Chattooga River, it cradles the border there with Georgia and South Carolina. Outside of Clayton, Georgia, is where the two whitewater sections are that can be commercially rafted. It's a federally protected waterway. It's the only commercially rafted protected waterway, federally protected waterway east of the Mississippi, I believe. And there's no infrastructure. There's like one bridge, there's a gauge, a visual gauge. No telephone poles, nothing. There's an access point on either side of the most federally regulated pieces of it, and the commercial rafting companies, there are only a handful of them who are allowed to do it, and there's a cap on that, and then they have to go down separate from each other. So one outfitter has to take I think they can only do like 3 boats at a time, and you don't see another outfitter on the river the entire day. And each section is a day trip, so they put you down and they feed you lunch about halfway down. And section 3 is class 2, class 3, I believe, with a class 4 at the end. It's the Bull Sluice class 4 rapid, and you can walk that one. So when you run section 3 of the Chattooga, it's the kind of family friendly section. Section 4 is the whitewater section, or the class 4 class. I think there's class 5, like maybe Five Falls has a class 5. I can't remember. I'm learning. So this week I was out there on Tuesday and Wednesday, and today is Saturday, and I did section 3 and 4 with Southeastern Expeditions, and that's the second time I've had the opportunity to do section 4, and I have fallen in love with this river. I said there's no infrastructure out there, and that's the case within a quarter mile of the banks of the river at a minimum, and it's really impressive. I'm going to learn as much as I can about the geology, because that's probably one of the most impressive parts, is the unique geology of the area, rock formations, and just the kind of stuff that was happening in this part of the continent, and this part of Appalachia, the Appalachian Mountains Trail, or mountain. Wow. Alright, we need to get something a little more upbeat here. We got about a 20-minute drive to the put-in. We gotta get into our wetsuit. Maybe. I'm thinking yeah, because if it's gonna rain, I don't want to be cold. So I'd rather have a wetsuit on and just stay in the water. I can hop out of my boat and cool off if I need to. Whatever. I'm gonna try to practice bracing and getting into a little surf sideways. Woo! Turkeys. Get out of the road, you turkey. Okay. Yeah, that's my soft mix. I don't know, man. I was just looking to see what was hanging out here. We don't have service, so we're working with what we have downloaded. That's cool.